I mean, if you're able to bend his ear, I mean, tell us, has Labour been on the phone to you today? Are they asking for your help?
Not today, no. Not today, no. I have had some conversations in the past, and I've made it very clear to senior Labour figures that if I can help smooth relations in any way, I will. And by the way, it isn't just my relationship with Donald Trump that's important. I reckon at least half the cabinet that he appoints will be people that I've known for many years and know very well. And I don't agree with anything the Labour government's doing, but our relationship in terms of trade, intelligence and defence, that is a matter of national interest. And if I can help with any of that, I will.
We do have to question some of his past, don't we? He is a convicted criminal. He's made sexist and racist remarks in the past. He's also shown a total disregard for democracy. What is it that you like about Donald Trump?
The UK media's non-stop bashing of Trump supporters is nothing new. Trump never got much love from the British press throughout the campaign. But Nigel Farage stood firm in his support, and what happened next was unexpected.
I believe the world is a safer place with Donald Trump. If you look at the 4 years he had as president, I think the crowning achievement at the end were the Abraham Accords, where Israel and Arab states signing treaties together, trading together, cooperating with each other. That was an amazing achievement, which sadly now has been smashed to pieces by Iran's proxies. He was the first American president for years not to launch a new war. He even had the guts to cross the line into North Korea.
Ever since Trump rallied the electoral results and pulled off an incredible win, there have been uncertainties regarding regional geopolitics. Nigel Farage has been doing his best to clear the smoke.
How do you square that, though, with yourself? The fact that when you hear that he's sexist, he's racist, he's a convicted criminal, yes, he might have got a strong mandate. I mean, how do you square that?
He is the elected president of the United States. You can say what you like about him. He's just won an election. He's won it handsomely. And our relationship with him and his administration is vital for our national interest in the next few years.
The reporter tried to provoke Nigel, but he remained calm and focused on building better relations with President-elect Donald Trump.
When we've all seen the footage of him talking and boasting about sexually assaulting women.
I was talking about Obama and your so-called Muslim.
Point on Trump. Have you seen the footage of him boasting about sexually assaulting women?
And it was crass and it was crude and it was wrong. And men say dreadful things sometimes. But the point here...
It's just all right then.
No, they do. They do. But you know something?
Men in particular.
If all of us were caught out for what we did on a night out after a drink...
I'm sorry, is that what you do on a night out after a drink? Is that what you do on a night out after a drink, Nigel?
I'm sure you've lived the purest life of anybody.
Nigel has been a strong pro-Trump voice in UK politics since his first term, and that hasn't changed over the years. Just like in his previous term, Farage stood by Trump during a heated confrontation.
Oh, she's in big trouble.
Why?
She's in big trouble. The momentum of the whole campaign has changed over the course of this couple of weeks. Trump is very much on the up. You're seeing a side of Donald Trump, whether it's McDonald's, whether it's the speech he gave at the Al Smith dinner, you're beginning to see who Trump really is in public, which is a very entertaining, humorous man. You can disagree with him, you can find what he says outrageous, but he is an entertaining guy. And when Trump's smiling, Trump's winning. And she's desperate, and I've no doubt these attacks will become even more hysterical.
It's no secret that the current Labour government has been a strong supporter of Kamala Harris, even running campaigns for her. On the other hand, Trump's vocal supporter has been Nigel Farage, speaking up for him on every stage.
But talking of hysterical attacks, I mean, Donald Trump himself, he insults Kamala Harris all the time. And talk about her mental health. He says she's crazy, lazy, the worst, has a low IQ, stupid, asks if she's on drugs, is slow. All of those I've just given, he said those in the last 2 days. That's not a smiling, happy man. That's an insulting man.
What I think actually serving fries and putting salt on them at a McDonald's drive-thru is really quite entertaining and quite humorous. And yeah, look, this is American politics.
We're not talking about him being in McDonald's. We're talking about the insults that he levels at Kamala Harris.
Yeah, that's the game in America. They all insult each other.
Donald Trump has a knack for vocally slamming his opponents. And while it may resonate with his supporters, it often leads to media criticism. Nigel, however, playfully dodges a question about Trump's comments on Kamala Harris.
So it's okay when Kamala Harris does it too?
No, I haven't complained. I haven't complained. I fully expect Kamala Harris to say these things. I fully expect, some people within US media to throw this out. It's all irrelevant. None of it really matters.
What does matter then?
What does matter is the Western world. What does matter is defense and security. What does matter is the Middle East. What does matter is what is going on with China, their naval expansion, the war in Ukraine, and the fact that the West needs a strong leader.
Although Trump's comments have been under criticism, the UK media has been overly focused on the US electoral campaigns. Nigel was quick to remind the anchor that only the foreign policy concerns countries like the UK, and the rest is irrelevant.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm sure the Prime Minister and the whole House would wish to congratulate Donald Trump on his landslide victory last week. Hold on.
Nigel didn't limit his support to the media. He made sure the House also congratulated Trump.
Well, I'm glad to see the honourable member making a rare appearance back here in Britain. He spent so much time in America recently. I was half expecting to see him on the immigration statistics when we see the next batch. But he may have missed. I did congratulate the incoming president last week.
This didn't sit well with Starmer, who tried his best to support Kamala, but all he could do was throw cheeky jokes at Nigel.
Now, as we know, Biden was at Buckingham Palace yesterday. Let's compare press coverage of Biden at Buckingham Palace with Trump. Have a look at these pictures. A few years ago, Donald Trump was there at the state visit. He was widely criticised for walking in front of the Queen. Have a look. He walked briefly in front of the Queen. He realised he was wrong. He checked. The Queen is now to his side, and the Queen is, in fact, marginally ahead. Trump pilloried for momentarily being in front of the Queen. But have a look at Joe Biden. No such complaints about Joe Biden.
Trump's last visit to Buckingham Palace was turned into a disaster by the biased media.
No such complaints about Joe Biden. Joe Biden 2 or 3 paces ahead of the King right throughout that procession where they're supposed to be inspecting the Guard. And yet, did you read about that in your newspapers today? No, you didn't. It is extraordinary that Biden seems to get a free pass time after time. I know he's old, I know he's not very capable, but goodness gracious me, it just shows you how twisted, in many ways, our media can be.
Nigel highlighted why the biased media didn't say a word about Biden when he blatantly violated royal decorum, and it's something we can't unsee.
2 members of parliament in this country have been shot, killed, knifed in the last 8 years. You yourself have been the victim of projectiles being thrown at you, drinks being thrown at you. How worried are you for your own safety in the light of this?
So the last time someone threw a drink at me was last Wednesday. I generally don't publicise it when these things happen.
Even when Trump was under attack, the BBC wasn't shy about throwing derogatory comments his way. Nigel strongly condemned those comments, and rightly so.
You have a man from Europe, I don't know if he's here, I saw him backstage. What he did was, and what he is doing is sort of what we did a few years ago. He's doing a great job, he's always been my friend for some reason. He liked me, I liked him.
Trump has always had a friendly relationship with Nigel, and during his rally in Pennsylvania, Trump applauded Nigel Farage for his unwavering support. With Trump back in office and Nigel Farage as his most vocal supporter in the UK, how do you think he can influence American foreign policy for the UK and the region? Let us know in the comments.